happens. Oh, first of all, how was the waste this morning? Pretty minimal? Let's hold the bucket up and put your finger on the side of the bucket where it's just a teeny bit. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, very nice. I think, Chunky's all right. Chunky's smiling up there. But 10 years ago, it was 10 years ago. Now I'm more like 11. It was 1999. It's the only year that Funky the Noah's Monkey worked here.
Whoa. Funky,
I know. You are still here that remember Funky. He was up there doing the job. He was a great little monkey.
Before my time.
It's before Red Shell's time. He wasn't. He never met Funky. Funky was named Funky because he played the bass, slapped the bass, and he danced really well.
And he didn't bathe often enough.
He did not.
Kind of funky.
As monkeys often won't. Anyway, he was up there doing his job, holding the bucket. Week after week, we had a little banner. It was the Friends of Funky banner. You know, I still have us down in the vault somewhere, I'm sure, if I looked hard enough. And every week, we'd look at the schedule, Funky and I, and talk about the schools that were coming. And we'd say, oh, look, for example, if you guys were coming, we'd be like, Huff and Castor are coming. Excellent. They saved me last year. This is going to be great. Well, this new school was coming we'd never seen before. They'd never been here, named Orange Grove Elementary School. And when you hear the name Orange Grove Elementary School, it sounds innocent enough. You picture a lovely school, maybe surrounded by an old orchard, some beautiful oranges growing there, the scent of orange blossoms in the springtime, and happy children playing and learning. That was what I pictured. Well, the kids from Orange Grove came up, and they seemed like your average kids. But we were teaching them about, the little lessons we do in the morning about turning off the lights and saving energy, turning off water, saving resources, saving food, and saving all the resources that go along with that. And just like we did with you guys, we thought a little bit more about what it takes to save the environment. First of all, you have to have knowledge. But then, what was that other wonderful thing you had to do? What was it? It starts with the letter C. Just say it. You had to care. You have to care. And that's the part nobody can teach. That's inside. That's like a thing from your heart that you go, oh, wow, I've been out in the woods, and I think that nature's really important and beautiful, and I have to care about it. Well, Orange Grove didn't seem to care. And we went through the week, and the food started piling higher and higher and higher and higher. It got to Friday morning just like this. And I was up here, and I was like, Orange Grove Elementary, please. The life of our monkey depends on it. I could look up. Funky was looking real nervous. His arm was straining, starting to shake. He wasn't strong as Chunky is. Veins were popping out in his forehead. Sweat was dripping down his brow. And the garbage gator was actually starting to chomp a little bit and salivate. Believe me, the garbage gator's breath is not a good thing. I have to stand up here every day with that. Not good. And it got to the end of the breakfast on Friday. There was a ton of waste. And I was like, we got to put it in Chunky's bucket. Or Funky's bucket. Sorry, Chunky. And I dumped it in there. And I stood back here and I looked. And guess what? Little Funky couldn't take it anymore. He let go. It was as if it happened in slow motion. In fact, to me, it felt like I was turning. And I remember going, Funky, no. Thinking back on it, that was a really dumb thing to do. Because if I'd acted faster, maybe I could have saved him. But I looked and he was as if falling in slow motion. In fact, he was sort of free falling through the air, tumbling into the garbage gator's mouth. And that's where it got really, really sad. Garbage gator just started chomping away. He hadn't had a monkey in years. And started eating old Funky up. And I thought, oh no, I'll never see my monkey again. You know what all the kids from Orange Grove Elementary School did at that moment? They pointed like the kid in The Simpsons, and they went, ha, ha. All 123 of them laughed as my monkey was eaten. And I thought I'd never see Funky again. And that's when it got weird. You've heard this story. It got weird.
I know the story.
Just then, the strangest thing happened. Before Funky got swallowed, his little monkey arm was raised up in defiance out of the garbage gator's mouth. And the garbage gator started kind of choking on his tail. And Funky made this really weird noise. It sounded something like this, Red Tail. What did it sound like? That's exactly what it sounded like. Well, we didn't know what that meant until a couple days later at Funky's funeral. I met Funky's great-grandfather. Came out for the funeral. Turns out he was a voodoo monkey. And as a child, before he was sent off into the world, little Funky was taught a few things in case he got in trouble. You know, in case out in the big bad world when he left his little island in the South Pacific, maybe he'd need something in case he had an emergency. This turned out to be a monkey curse.
It was like an internal hex.
It was a hex.
Yeah.
It was a hex is what it was on the garbage gator and on Orange Grove Elementary School, because when they went back to this school the next week, they were out in their little playground outside the school at recess, laughing and singing, thinking that, oh well, you know, whatever, Funky died, who cares? They still didn't care. When suddenly they heard this very strange sound from all around their school. It was the sound of every garbage truck in San Jose, Cupertino, Mountain View, all the South Bay, backing up to their school and dumping garbage on top of Orange Grove Elementary School. Turns out that was the curse of Funky. If you don't care about the environment, and you just aren't going to learn, well, you're going to find out what happens when people don't recycle, don't compost, and don't care. And all the garbage starts piling up higher and higher. Have no fear, no children were harmed in the telling of this story. No, instead, they climbed up on top of the garbage until it got higher and higher and higher. And the whole thing got so heavy it sunk into the ground. And that's why you can drive around, you can't find Orange Grove Elementary School anywhere in the South Bay. Can't find it. But you can visit there. Would you like to know where to find where Orange Grove was?
Yeah.
The Santa Clara County landfill. Yeah, that used to be their school.